Hi there. I am Ben, your math teacher. Pre-Calculus 201. I want to talk a little bit about the course and introduce myself. Let's start with myself. I've been teaching for about 15 years and I love it. I struggle with online teaching because I like the human interaction, face-to-face classes, but I recognize that some people's lives and schedules mean that online is a better fit for them in terms of making it work in their lives. So my goal as an online teacher is to try to help you feel connected and supported in the way I would in my face-to-face class. Now, the instruction is going to happen on your own time at your own pace, but I'm here for you if you need help. You need to reach out to me. Best way to get a hold of me is to text me. Numbers in the syllabus: 765-335-5867. And you can write me any time of the day or night. You can write me at 3 in the morning. I'm probably not going to answer, but just let me know if you're stuck, because you don't have to do this on your own. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the nuts and bolts of the course and how it works. And I'm going to share my screen here. By the way, if you're taking this class and you get stuck, this is a way that we can meet remotely. You can also come to any of my office hours. I'm fine with that, but this is a way to meet face-to-face over the internet. And we can also just text or do phone call, whatever. But I recently did some online work, and it was nice to have the opportunity to meet with the instructor and kind of see that there was a real person back there. Okay, so we're on the announcements page. I've got some announcements here that you should have already seen. I wanted to go to MyLab and Mastering because that's where most of the work is. Well, I guess I should start in modules, because this is the way the course is broken down, right, into modules. So, for instance, got a bunch of stuff here. Okay, module 1, right? This is what you're doing at the beginning of the course. So this week you should be working on module 1. That's going over the review questions in MO1A. That's that homework. There's a quiz, and there's also a little discussion. So just introduce yourself and kind of respond to a few other students. Now, this homework quiz pairing is very typical. Like you can see, it repeats itself throughout the course. You do homework and you take a quiz. My perspective on the quiz is, if you look at the weighting for the course, the most important thing is let's go to the syllabus here quickly. The most important thing in the course is the midterm and the final. And the logic behind that is that you do all this other stuff offline, but away from other people, and you can do it however you want, but you got to be able to, you got to know some stuff. And so there's the midterm and there's the final. You can see that's worth 60% of your grade. So you cannot succeed in the course if you don't do well on the midterm and the final. Which means everything leading up to that should be about testing and evaluating yourself honestly, like, do I know what I'm doing? So it's very important, I think, that when you do the homework with as much guidance and support as you want, when you get to the quizzes, you really shouldn't use your notes, because you're not using your notes on the test. And you get 2 times to do the quiz. So if the first time you do it and you don't use your notes and you do very badly, then that's a sign that you're not ready and that you need to go back and practice some more things. And you can use the results of the quiz to go back and say, okay, well, I need to study this and this. You don't have to go back and do all the homework again. You can just study some very specific things and then test yourself again. The quizzes, the module quizzes, are worth 15%. If you are taking my advice and you're not using your notes and you're doing badly on the quizzes, that doesn't mean that you should go back and use your notes and start getting external help to do well on the quizzes. What it means is that the way you're learning is not working. We should be talking at that point about, like, why is this not working for you? Okay. just want to say that up front. So if you go to the modules, there's multiple ways to get to the same place. So you don't have to go this particular way. So if you go to the modules, and you can click on got one little fella. You can click on the MO1A learning activities, and eventually that'll lead you to the homework. Now let me just show you the learning activities, because there's debate about how you should approach this. But basically, if you're learning something new, then there should be some kind of instruction, and then you go and you try to do some problems. You probably should not just jump right into the homework and start trying to do problems that you haven't had any instruction on. Unfortunately, the instruction here is pretty low budget. These are PowerPoints, and you know, how good is this PowerPoint? Well, let's just pick a random one and look at it. Now, my intention is to offer supporting videos for problems and concepts that I find more difficult. We'll just see how it goes. But always, you know, feel empowered. If you get to something and it doesn't make sense, ask me a question, and I can make a little video and do a chalk and talk and upload it so that everybody can see it, have access to it. The main way that I'm going to communicate with the whole group is through announcements. So remind me to talk about notifications, because you want to know when I'm posting something in the announcements. Okay, so this is a downside of the whole PowerPoint concept, because I have to download this PowerPoint and I open it on the computer. That means you have to have access to Office. If you're an Ivy Tech student, that should not be an issue for you, because you should have free access to all of the Office software. Okay, so it's nice objectives, little definition. It's 18 slides, and you can just run through it as a slideshow at your own pace. Write notes down. Right. I hope this is not news to you. Got some examples. Okay. Now I'm clicking the mouse here to make it go forward, because it's filling this in a little bit at a time. So, you know, this is better than just like reading a textbook, but it's pretty low budget. Okay, so that is the base learning tool are these PowerPoints. And whether those work for you or not, don't forget that, of course, we live in the age of Google. So if you get to a question like, how do I find solutions to an equation, right? If you just type in a phrase, then you go to videos, you're going to get lots of results for Khan Academy is going to come up a lot. If you don't like the Khan Academy, then you got to kind of look a little harder. Virtual Nerd, or Khan Academy. Khan Academy is there's going to be a lot of stuff. This has nothing to do with Khan Academy. It's just somebody's uploaded YouTube video, American Public University. So anyways, the point is, there are so many videos out there. You know, if the PowerPoints are not working for you and you have a specific topic, then try Googling and see what kind of videos you can find. Okay, let's go back to class and let's go to next. So I've done my reading, I'm ready, I want to try the homework. Click on next. Okay, and then this tells me kind of the overview. I'm going to do a homework, I'm going to do a quiz, I'm going to do a discussion board. And then here I am, O1A. Now this takes me to Pearson, which is the provider for the homework. If you don't have Pearson, then you're going to have to enter an access code. There's a grace period of a couple weeks, so if you don't have the access code, you have a way to get in and get started. but it's going to have to buy access to this material. But then you can just get started on these questions. Now, this is embedded in the course. So I haven't left Ivy Learn. I'm just in a frame where I can see what's happening. There's a way to get to MyLab and Mastering that would have this be in a separate tab, which you might find better because this is a little bit small, right? And I'm like having a hard time. Right? This bottom part is kind of cut off here. So, okay, I don't like that. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to see if I can go to Pearson directly. Now, this looks a little different than what you're going to see, but you think you would see assignments, right? So you go here, opens in the new tab. Right, this is what I would recommend. You can see your assignments. Click on the one that you're working on. And all I would say about about Pearson is you're not going to get great feedback when you do things wrong. But you have, so for instance, I'm just going to take a guess here. Oops. Okay, good job. Did not mean to get that right. This is not, no way I'm going to guess this way. So okay, so this example of the kind of feedback you're going to get. It's not great. I mean, they're trying to say something useful, right? They're giving you advice about how to do it correctly, but they're not interpreting what you answered and saying, well, I think you probably did this wrong. Now, if you take a picture of your work and send it to me, I can give you better feedback. And the way you would do that is take a picture, send me a text, say, I got this problem wrong, here's my work, what do you think? What do you see? And I can give you some more direct feedback. Pearson has this little suite of tools over here, question help, right? So you can help me solve this, you can view an example, textbook, ask my instructor. You know, ask my instructor is not a great link when you can just send me a text. It's going to get to me more directly. The only benefit is that ask my instructor attaches the question to it. So that's kind of, textbook takes you to somewhere in the textbook. Help me solve this, kind of takes you through a step-by-step set of a procedural approach that will get you to the answer. I think at the end of that, then you have to do a similar problem. So this doesn't count, but it takes you through step by step. This is the best support that Pearson can give you. Very detailed procedural approach. And this is good. I mean, this is nice for you to have this resource. Let me just point out that the let's go back to yeah. So this is all the homework. Now, when I was seeing it before, I was seeing everything. So I was outside. Okay. Notice that for the homework, you have unlimited attempts. You have a time limit, but for quizzes, you have a 60-minute time limit, 2 attempts. When you take the quizzes, so I'm going to start this quiz. Into it, I'm going to realize that I don't know what I'm doing. If I submit it, then that counts as one of my attempts. Okay. Notice that this one was wrong because I tried to answer it, but I was wrong. This one is wrong because I left it blank. So there's a difference between this big red X and this X. Now, if I go to my results, then I can go back and I can look at all of everything that I've done. But if I click on review, then I can actually go to the quiz, see the question, see my answer, see if it'll show me the right answer. Yes, it shows me the right answer. If I go to the little red box, it tells me what I answered. And it gives me the option for get answer feedback. Cool. This is can be a useful thing. I can tell you more about how to do the study plan later, but it's a way to connect it to a particular problem in the study plan so that you can go do that question over and over and over again to feel confident. So that's kind of a very brief overview of the course. You can do homework and quizzes. Let's look back at the due dates that I set here. Can't see it in Ivy Learn, so you're going to have to see it in MyLab and Mastery. There's a way for me to add it into Ivy Learn. But basically, very simple setup to try to keep your life organized. The due dates every Sunday at midnight. And so 1/20/19, 1/27/19, 2/03/19. You don't think you're going to make the midnight deadline on Sunday. By the way, I don't know if that's Eastern time or Central time. So I have to play it by ear, and I hope you're not really cutting it that close. If you're not going to make it, just send me an email, send me a text, say, hey, I'm not going to make it. And I can try to make sure that it's still available to you, and we'll work on it on a case-by-case basis. A couple of modules into this, we can kind of look back and say, that's working, it's not working. You know, I'm open to different ways of arranging it, but in my experience, students need deadlines to have pressure that you have to get. You do not want to not work on brief calculus until March and be like, oh, I've got a midterm, let's do some homework. So just giving you some simple structure, 2 things due every week, and then by the time you get to module 4B, that's actually your midterm, and then you got the rest of the course, same thing, 8B, final exam. All right? Let me know if you have questions. I'm going to pop them in the discussion board and kind of try to encourage people to write and reach out to you. But looking forward to working with you this semester and helping you with pre-calculus. Talk to you later.